Ayo, test, test. Hey, y'all, welcome back to Fake Deep Think. It's a group of friends sitting down talking about news, culture, and sometimes the controversial politics. We got John.
What's up? My boy added a word.
I got changed up a little bit.
Mhm.
Doc,
Yo.
Ian in the figurative back. What up? And myself, Eugene. So we're back. Sorry I missed y'all last week. We forgot that John was going to be out of town on a business trip in Ohio. How was that, John? Was I wrong? Was it in Ohio?
You were absolutely correct. And Ohio is absolutely a useless state.
Damn.
Bunch of
Damn.
Amish people, bunch of Amish people and meth heads. Everybody at the company was cool. Everybody outside the company. There was a strip club across the street.
How'd
We
you
drove
interact with
past
the
it.
Amish? The Amish are usually nowhere near cities.
No, they own most of the land in Ohio.
Oh, that's
So like it's just the cities, some small cities, and then the Amish. And so we drove past a strip club going back to the hotel from the building. The building's right across from one. One day there was like three, and I kid you not, between the ages of 60 and 70-year-old women outside dressed in stripper attire
just
Outside of the
outside.
strip club?
outside of the strip club. So I assumed that they were dancers, which should speak to the strip club.
Yikes.
Yeah, Ohio's a pretty useless place, bro. I don't know how LeBron made it out that bitch. I was in Akron too.
Damn. So you're never gonna go back.
I'm going back next month.
Enjoy.
Enjoy, right? You
Yeah,
should
go
I
check
check
mean,
out
out
the
the
I ain't
strip
strip
gonna
club.
lie,
clubs.
I had a splendid time as far as like free room, obviously, food on the room. I'm getting treated to lunch every day. Like I'm not spending any money, but I'm eating good and
Yeah, I
enjoying
saw
or
your
whatever. But
videos.
You
Show your
fly or
videos
you
hmm?
every
drive?
time.
You said what?
You fly or you drive?
I flew.
Why you say it like that?
He's afraid of heights.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
terrified of flying, dude. And I fly. I mean, I fly too often for me to be that scared of it. But every time it's horrible. It was
It's
turbulent.
it's funny. John's little trick to like help get himself prepped to fly is he just gets either one super wasted or two just super zooted. It's hilarious. Like he has to do it.
Like it's like it's extremely like it has to be extreme to the point where I'm gonna have a headache when I land,
Okay.
regardless, because I drank too much. But yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
get
turbulence.
it.
I just got to be ready to die. That's the thing. As long as I can trick myself that you know what, if this is it, this is it. I'll get on the plane. So every time it's a fucking battle. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Uh,
I know that feeling, man. I went flying the other weekend just to try to get over it a little bit more. And I went in the little
You're
propeller
afraid of
plane.
heights?
I, I don't. Well, I'm not really afraid of heights, but I don't like being up high. But the thing that pisses me off most is being crammed with people.
So would you
Like,
go skydiving?
I would probably try it. Yeah.
Fuck no. I would
Yeah.
never go. There is literally nothing you could do to convince me except the plane itself being on fire and I have to jump out. There's no way I'm ever jumping out of a plane.
Hey man, it's fun. I'm telling you that adrenaline rush is pretty cool.
Fun to jump out of a plane. You know how many millions of things are fun before jumping out of a plane has to be even discussed?
See, it's less so jumping out of the plane and more so the feeling of just in the sky, just
I hate that feeling.
just ooh, just being around you, the wind, the turbulence, whatever it's called, the resistance of the wind pushing against you. It just and then when you finally pull the chute and you're floating in the sky, man, it's cool. It's
I
cool.
mean,
It's cool.
it is cool, but my thing is like you got to make a bet, and sometimes that bet's got if you're wrong, that's a high cost.
That feeling when your stomach goes up is my least favorite feeling on this earth.
It only lasts a second. It only hits you when the initial jump. Then once you start falling, it's literally gone. Like it only happens once you jump because I don't know how to explain it, but literally, I only had that feeling of like the stomach going in your chest. Like
Yeah,
once I jumped, and then after you jump, like when you're finally like I guess
falling,
falling, yeah,
free falling.
it's it's
Yeah, Ethan, I got my lights right just because of you.
so
Appreciate you, my
hell I
boy.
can see you this week.
Oh, Ethan. By the way, the old that number that you were texting me on, I have a new number. So make sure to remind me to message you my new number.
All right, let's get into the topics now. So we got two funny topics. First one is obviously the drama that happened in New York this past couple weeks ago, which was the Cenat riots. And then I got a degenerate topic that I want to surprise the guys with, which is pretty much about some Facebook Marketplace, some backwaters Facebook Marketplace, the black market Facebook Marketplace. But we'll get into that when we get to it. So first, talk about the Cenat drama. John's face is already trying to prep himself where he's like, "What you got for me?"
Drama.
It's not drama, but I'm looking forward to your reaction. So, influencer Kai Cenat charged with inciting a riot after New York City mayhem. August 5th, social media influencer Kai Cenat has been charged with inciting a riot after he announced a giveaway of video game consoles that drew thousands of people to a New York City park on Friday and sparked violent clashes with police. 65 people were arrested, including 30 juveniles, and several police
Damn, 30.
officers and civilians were injured in the melee at Union Square Park. Jeffrey Madray, the New York Police Department's highest ranking uniformed officer, told a news conference late on Friday. Some in the crowd threw projectiles at police, climbed onto the roof of a subway entrance, and jumped on top of cars. Sanat, best known for his live streams on the gaming site Twitch and YouTube videos, was also charged with unlawful assembly, Madre said. He said the crowd started to calm down when police officers evacuated Sanat from the park. In the video posted Thursday, Sanat told his followers that the giveaway would include computers and PlayStation 5 consoles. Sanat 21 has 6.5 million followers on Twitch, 4 million subscribers on YouTube. He was named, quote, Streamer of the Year in 2022 at the Streamy Awards. I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I've seen some stuff about it. It's like basically like there's like a weird like in club with all the top streamers, and they just have these awards and they like pass out their own
So
little
it's
awards.
people patting themselves on the back for, being
Yeah,
famous and rich.
yeah. I
It's
mean, it's the same thing like the Oscars. It's just like only the best actors who are already going to show up, that
Yeah,
regularly
same thing,
show
yeah.
up, just go in there and be like, "Hey, you did a good job this year." Or, you did a good job this year.
yeah, it's literally their take on the Oscars, pretty much
Yeah.
for streamers.
Well, I guess the first question to get this going is Kai Cenat wrong? I
Yes.
mean, he's being charged, but do you think he's rightfully charged?
Yes. He didn't incorporate. Well, it's ignorance, but you can't be ignorant of the law. He did. There's no way he knew that many actual people would pull up. But on the flip side, you can't. Other people have giveaways and don't have police presence, or they'll just have minimal security or something like that because, for the most part, there's not that type of draw. But Kai Cenat is a New York native. He's from the Bronx. So
He should have
he should
known
have known
better.
that would amplify it. And even the numbers of 10,000 or more would have been ridiculous because there's no line system set up. Like it would have just been adults there or people who are part of the giveaway program issuing commands in order to organize everybody, which only lasts but so long if the crowd is what, probably anywhere from 10 years old to 20s. And it wasn't just Kai that was there, the whole AMP was there. So that amplifies it more because everybody's not there just to see Kai. Some people are there to see Phantom, Duke, Agent. Agent is from Playback, the podcast Playback that we
Yeah,
used
I
to.
know talking about,
Yeah,
yeah.
Agents from Playback, and the other two are just AMP members, but they're also
So
really popular.
if that's true, I didn't know that. If that's true, why aren't they being charged also? Why is it all being thrown on
Agent got
Cenat?
arrested, and Duke Dennis got arrested.
But are they being charged though?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what they're being charged with in particular, but they were definitely arrested along with Tyson that, and like they all had big ass AMP, like they're, you know what I'm saying? So it's like people were there to see different people regardless, and then you're talking about giving away free computers and free
PlayStation 5s.
PlayStations and stuff. It's August. It's the beginning of the school year. So there's a lot of people in need of those type of things. So it could be you could easily convince your parent to go to a giveaway where they might give you laptops or something that you could use for school. So I just think he was ignorant in how he handled it, but he just sincerely didn't know. But he is to blame
He is
because
21. You got to keep that in mind. Like he is
yeah, he's
21.
21. But he also prior to the event said he knew the police was going to be on his dick. So there
What do
was
you
some
mean?
acknowledgement, at least prior to that, it may potentially be a lot of people. Also, Phantom is from the Bronx too, so like there's a strong New York presence there already. So it just makes sense to involve the police or involve some type of security, armed security or whatever. But to also Kai's defense, once it got out of control, like Kai was putting little kids on his back. There's no excuse, absolutely even. But Kai Cenat was putting little kids on his back, trying to like. He was also trying to maintain the peace. But then again, like I said, ignorance is no excuse. Like he didn't know better, but it's his fault.
You got
So
something,
he,
Doc?
well, I was just wondering, like, I guess if he knew that he was gonna at least aggravate the police, maybe not incite them to act or anything like that, but just aggravate them, then they're probably fully running with that. I mean, he's only 21. When I mean, at 21, you just want to throw a fucking bash. You know what I mean? And just see like just people show up and have a good time. I'm sure that's what his intention was, and he'd be like, "Fuck it, the cops will come, but it's whatever." Like, it just reminds me of like partying at 21. They're like, "Fuck it, the cops are at the door, but they can't come in or whatever. We're just gonna keep going." Um, but then it just completely devolved into a full-on riot. And at that point, it's like, isn't he getting charged with like 5 years or something like that?
I don't
He
think
got
it's that
charged with
extreme.
three felonies, I believe. So I think it can. When they say the maximum of 5 years, it's rarely the maximum, especially if you're somebody who has enough money to afford good lawyers.
Yeah,
So
that's what I heard. It's not likely he's going to jail, but they're trying to throw
yeah,
like a high year cap so that it deters anybody else from doing it.
Which
I
makes
mean, yeah,
sense.
they'll threaten you with that, but like also, I'm gonna be honest with you, not many people would have this level of ignorance to not try and appeal to get like some type of authority in New York to approve of this. Like, I get it, they're like flash mobs, and I get they're like celebrities who, hey, meet me here, and you da 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 da. But I think we're also realizing we're at a point now where the YouTube stars are actually bigger than
They give
actual
them credit more.
celebrities.
Yeah.
LeBron couldn't do that.
Uh, you don't think so?
LeBron couldn't do that. Not when I mean do this, I don't mean get this many people. I mean for it to be a riot because of the age, because of the
That's
scenario and all
fair.
that stuff.
I think that's
So
fair. And
I
so it's
one
think
like
question I want to add to this is at what point do we factor in it's New York? Because New York has been kind of prone to, I don't want to say specifically just rioting, but just kind of, maybe I will say rioting, because a lot of crazy things have been going on in New York recently. I guess lawlessness, I don't know if that's fair either to characterize it that way, but
I
New
would
York
say
has been going through a lawlessness phase.
I would say New York is one of the cities that have a more complicated relationship with its police because I mean, just being real honest here, New York probably has one of the like in the bigger cities, most corrupt police departments. That's most well documented corrupted police departments, where there are a lot of things in the history of the NYPD to where the public and the NYPD are kind of at odds all the time, especially like before with the stop and frisk, just being one example. So if it were to your point, if it were to happen in certain states, it'd be most likely in New York that even the police presence, instead of calming it, would incite a little bit more mm, damage or volatility.
Well, I think a lot of cities right now are having large amount of contention with their police forces. I mean, just all across the country. Like we're still feeling the ripples from the summer
No, but
protests.
what Gene was pointing out was that it would probably be yeah, that's true, but there'd be more likely in certain states. Like for example, New York is a high concentration state where the people are on top of each other. So there's already a little bit of agitation that just comes with being a New Yorker. And then, like I said, the stop and frisk, you got Giuliani, you have so many things with NYPD that historically lead to uneasiness where it's specific to like that area
Well, I wouldn't even go
versus like
historically, honestly. I would say even what's the
recently?
what's with the new mayor? We're just gonna say recently is with the new mayor with
Mayor
the
Adams.
Mayor Adams with the rollbacks they've done with a lot of the laws. Like it's I don't know if I would go as far as say it's decriminalized or incentivized, but at least the punishment for doing a lot of things are not the incentive to do it is now what no I'm trying to say like the repercussions I'm trying to say the repercussion for doing a lot of illegal things is not as high as it used to be. For example, you can now steal up to a certain dollar figure and not see jail time. It's pushed under the rug. Like I guess my point I'm trying to say is not historically. Yes, you have this factor of bad relationship between the
The
people and the
system
police,
can't handle that population. It's too much.
and it's also to help with the fact that the laws are now being kind of. I guess the
Is
You
same
that
can
as
say
happening in New
that,
York
but it's
though? I thought that
going.
was only
You
happening
can
in
say
California.
no, it's happening in New York too.
Uh,
Maybe not
no,
to the
but you
degree
could
of
say that,
California,
but
but it is happening in New York.
you could say that on both sides though, because like in New York too, the same mayor has brought back stop and frisk.
Did he bring it back, or did he talk about bringing it back?
As
I
far as
think it was
I've
in
seen,
discussions.
as far as I've seen, it's been well. If it's been in discussion, the police are already enforcing it.
what's stop and frisk? They literally stop you and they
You
chase
look
you down.
suspicious. Let me check your bag.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the logic, where it's just like there's just so many people and there's just guns throughout the entire city. But
And
it's
then
like it's rowdy.
you talk about to Gene's point, certain laws being dumb. On the flip side, no citizen can have a gun. So
Which is
like
also dumb.
Wait, no citizen in
so
the
like
city can have a gun?
half the trouble is having a gun to protect yourself.
Yeah, in New York, it's illegal to have a gun.
Really?
Yeah, which doesn't make sense because it's a constitutional right, and they're technically speaking, it's unconstitutional to implement that state law.
Huh.
But I don't live in New York for a reason.
Damn. That city just sounds messy. Because it's
Yeah,
like you can't have a gun, but the bad guys are gonna have guns, and then
the police can't do
You can't have a gun
anything
to
because
to,
they can't really police. But then
to
again, at
the
the same time, when you do give them rules, they over police because like the stop and frisk. It's like John said, it's a weird balance because either you go too much police and you get stop and frisk, where you got police being like super invasive and authoritarian. Then the other flip side, which I think where it's currently in right now, is it's damn near no policing and the criminal side of the city has free reign.
well, I mean, stop and frisk sounds like a response to the bad guys keeping guns and the good guys not being able to have them. So
I don't know
technically,
if
they.
that's specifically what stop and frisk was implemented for. John,
the
maybe
intent
correct
might
me.
be
I mean,
that
it
might be the
sounds like an.
correct
Yeah.
intent, but like it's rarely ever used like that. Like for example, a lot of shit, I forget what state it is. It might be Georgia. I forget what state it is, but smelling marijuana is no longer a cause in certain. Well, I don't remember the state. Smelling marijuana is no longer a cause for probable cause for a cop to search a vehicle. You remove that, do you know how much percentage of goddamn
Arrests
searches you're
go down
probably?
and search. Yeah,
Yeah, like a lot. I can count the many times I've been searched and nothing found or whatever. And yeah, I smoked it or hit it really well. But like, dude, you're pulling up 3 cop cars wasting gas. They're still running. They're calling things in. You're calling canines. You're doing this. And I got like 2 grams of weed, bro. Like, it's like you just wasted easily 5 grand on this stop because you smelled marijuana because you're trying to fulfill a quota. So I don't know. I mean, I guess this does lead to a bigger discussion, but if we want to keep it on topic to the Kai Cenat thing, he should know better.
well, Ethan had a good point. He said someone in that circle should have known that they needed to pull a permit to do that, which I think is very true. Like when you said agent, I was like 100%. They should have known better.
hmm And I'm sure
Yeah,
somebody says something.
that's something I had heard too. That how come there wasn't like a publicist or somebody who didn't predict like what if a swarm of people show up, like any other event, you know?
Especially in New York. Like y'all should like again, I agree with y'all completely. Y'all should have known better. One, it's no like pulling a large crowd like that in New York offering free things, it's a recipe for disaster.
And then to further the point, there have been artists charged with inciting riots at their own shows, and that's a closed venue with security and everything there. So if an artist can be charged like Travis Scott, if artists could be charged like Playboy Cardi for inciting a riot, Tyler the Creator for inciting a riot at their own show because a little mosh pit starts at the show. This obviously would tick all those boxes.
It goes way beyond that, man. Because there's
It,
actually
Yeah, I've
people
seen
that
the
are
videos. If you,
trying to
yeah,
not have that happen. This doesn't have that.
exactly. You
like
got
have y'all
people
seen the
dancing on
videos
top of
from this
cars.
riot? It was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I also
Crazy.
the statistics are crazy. I think they had to pull like 40% of like their police force into mitigate it or something like that. So like portions of the city were just like completely like without guard.
That's so funny because it actually reminds you that if we really wanted to, the police ain't fucking with us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
we
It's the
are
outnumber
fucking
the
people.
wild out.
police. That's why the argument's always like people always say, well, if the people united, we could overthrow the government. The problem though is if the military stepped in, and that's the biggest problem. Because technically
You
speaking,
have
if
to
we
have
if
a
you factor out the military, yeah, we could and just dealt with police, we could definitely take them on.
Yeah, I
The
mean the other
problem
thing
though,
but
too
then
is
like
that it was a bunch of like
kids.
juveniles. Yeah,
Yeah,
and they had to pull that much like resources from the police force to actually just settle them down.
but if the nation united, the citizens united to stand up against its government, that many people uniting would swallow the military wouldn't be the military anymore.
I mean, it
And
just
the
depends
police
how
wouldn't
far
be
the
police.
elites are willing to take it. Because technically speaking, all they have to do is just bomb us. It's just are they willing to bomb its own citizens?
But
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You still need a pilot to do that.
I'm nihilistic and or maybe the word's not nihilistic. For lack of a better word, nihilistic to the point where I think, unfortunately, there are some people within our military that are so brainwashed and corrupt that if they get the order, they're
For
doing it.
sure. For sure. But then I just don't think that I think the military's fire force would like literally 70% of the people will leave the military if all the citizens united, their moms, their dads, their
That's
brothers.
fine. You only need 30% to pilot a bomber, and then that's gonna do, but drop one bomb. Doesn't have to be a nuke. Just drop one, whatever that certain like type of bomb where you like cluster bomb, I guess thing. Just do one of those, and you're gonna moralize the entire populace real quick.
maybe.
But you
I
also
don't
got to
think that
face the
I
backlash
don't
that America bombed its
yeah, I'm
own
about to say I
citizens.
don't think that that demoralizes anything. First off, the government dropping a bomb on its citizens would be the end of the government if they even had a chance. Because there's no way that democracy after that would exist.
Well, I
Because
think
either
the
that's
government. That's fair. I mean, once the people unite on a large scale, let's say more than 50%, I think the government's done. Period. Like right in that
yeah, I
moment,
agree
the
with that.
government's done. There is no government. Like we don't bow to you anymore. You have no sway over us. The
If it's
government's
at
gone.
50%, it would also really depend on like what the issue is. Because at that
That's
point, like a
Ooh,
large
that's a
portion
good
of
point,
the
Ethan.
military would also jump ship and then be like, we're taking our tanks or we're taking the our planes and stuff like that. Like
Ethan said it's against the law to have the military take action on U.S. soil. The law. At that point, you really think they're going to follow the law? I
it
don't know.
depends on
That
like the
point
scale
I
too.
of
don't.
what
I don't know.
the breaking point
That
is. Yeah.
I I just don't know the verbiage they could use to convince the people who would need to give those orders out
You're right. I
into
don't know
doing
either.
those things.
I just
And
like
it's
I don't know
funny
what the
because
word
we
is.
all technically we would just need a pump fake. We wouldn't even really need to unite and do anything. We need to pump fake enough to convince military people that hey, like you got to pick a side, and then
Yeah.
that should be enough to whatever we were trying to demand from the government to take place. But it just I guess it depended on how extreme you wanted to change.
Yeah. Or whatever.
True.
Because I mean, if it's generally like a situation where somebody comes in and is like becomes a tyrant, and then I don't know, 80% of the population's against them, that's a rough
I don't think
situation.
it's a tyrant issue. I think that's not. I don't say too extreme, but I think too perfect. Like that would be
Mm.
the perfect scenario. Is we're going against a tyrant. That would never happen. Honestly, and this may be me being an extremist. I think right now not so far as say to rebel against the government, but I think how it's heading right now, it's more than enough reason. We have people in office who are been in office for over 50 years who are not putting the American people's best interests at heart. They're putting their own pocketbooks, in my opinion, at heart. Like they don't care about what's best for the people. They care
Opinion.
about what brings them the most money. You recently got what's her name, Sotomayor, I think is her name. She was unable to actually communicate her own thoughts. She had her actual aides telling her what to say to the point where she had to sign a power of attorney to her daughter because she can't make her decisions on her own, and she still holds public office. How is that? I'm going off topic now, but I just our systems are so corrupt at this point that we need something to change. Something. So we got a little off topic. Let's reel it back in. Unless you got something to say, Doc. I see your brain turning.
It's because I'm thinking about this article I read. I told you guys about it a long time ago, but every time it kind of falls back onto it. Like they're talking about neo feudalism, where basically
Mm.
you have the shogun for each state, and that fucking dude doesn't leave until he dies, and then like his family member inherits it, and then that person like speaks up to the emperor, and it's just like, well, the president's the emperor, and everybody else, all these little shoguns that
It's
deal
not
with
how
it.
it's supposed to be, though, and
And
that's
the states
honestly
fight each other, and then whenever like the emperor is like, all
Feinstein.
right, we got
Thank
an
you,
outside
Ethan.
problem, then everybody goes out
Feinstein.
and deals with them.
I'm gonna say
They,
Sotomayor, that was crazy.
yeah, I like I said, the name got mixed up in my head, but thank you, Ethan, for
Mhm.
the correction.
But the
Feinstein.
fact that something like that even exists is crazy.
Exactly. Like I got the
How
name
can
wrong, but
both
that's
those
an
things
actual
be
thing
true?
going on. Like it's
Like, how can
wild.
both those things be true and then everybody be okay with it? You know what? I find
Even
myself
with
asking that
even with
question myself
McConnell,
in a
the
long.
turtle face dude that had his little episode in an interview where he just like shut down and stopped talking. It's like, are you okay, my guy? Like, hey, push to
Wasn't that
start. Like, what's going on?
the speaker for the Republican Party?
No, that's um
He's
I
a
forget all these
popular
old
guy. I
guys
just forget his name.
yeah, I forget. They're all old guys. That's why I'm so tired of these all they all got white hair. Let's just say that. All these guys got white hair.
So what's that age group that you think? Is it 40 to 60?
The what? Age group for what?
Like that you'd want your politician?
I'd say as low as 30 because I think or 35. What do you have to be a president? What age do you have to be president? I think it's 35, right?
Yeah,
At
Yeah, I
least.
believe so.
Then I would say at least 35, max maybe 50, 55. Once you get past the retirement age, like bro, retire.
I think you can push 65. I think some people maintain
I think
cognitive
60 is
abilities
cool.
65. I mean, you're not doing much, but making decisions. Like
What's the
you're not
retirement age?
60.
60,
65.
65. Then yeah, I'm okay with that. I just think it gets to a point where we have to have the next
Fuck that.
generation take
That's
over.
stupid. Retirement age being 65 is crazy.
I mean, that's a different topic, but I think in politicians, I think that's valid. I just think we go through so many changes, or I don't know. It's just this is a difficult conversation to have because obviously everyone has different ideas of how things should be governed. But
Hmm.
I just think when you have someone who's been in office for so long, like we're seeing right now, things don't change.
I mean, to
And
play
in
devil's
my,
advocate, I think what would end up happening though is that you get a bunch of young bucks into office, and then you start having weird problems with them.
you said what? You kind of cut out.
I say that the opposite issue might happen. Like, let's say you you start, weeding out the older folk that are still holding their office. But then you start introducing young bucks, and then they start doing weird shit because they're obviously like trying to make names for themselves and stuff like that, and so they're doing things that are outlandish to try to get the attention, the clout, or even just the higher positions.
That's honestly very fair. That's a good valid point because the first name I thought of was AOC.
Yeah, honestly, she is one of the young bucks that's like in there, and you would just get more of that if
And I don't
those
want
older
more of
officers.
AOC.
I mean, I would imagine it would be on both sides. Like you would get like a young, rambunctious Republican as well as a Democrat, and then you would have, I would say, more loud energy than quiet, decrepit energy.
Yeah. Real quick, let's address Ethan's comment and then let's move on. I wasn't trying to like get too much into politics from this. The Feinstein issue is a broader conversation. It has been a long-standing tradition for spouses or family members who care for the politician to assume responsibilities until a special election is held. That's wild. That is a whole nother conversation. He's right, but that's also true and also wild that that's a thing. And it's again evidence, in my opinion, of corruption in our government that we got to address. All right, let's move on to the degenerate topic that I wanted to surprise the guys with. So let's pay attention to the reactions. Let's go, Ian. Facebook's black market sperm industry exposed.
Oh yeah.
Wannabe moms too poor to afford 30,000 IVF are being lured into having unprotected sex or forced to meet men they meet online in parking lots to swap semen samples.
What the fuck?
Yeah, okay, so let me read this a little bit. Let's get into this because this
You
is
know what I thought it was gonna be? I thought it was gonna be like somebody's got like an alien body, like fucking crashed alien body on first sale on black market on Facebook or some shit. This is totally on fucking
I threw out a curveball,
way off.
huh? Women
Facebook needs to
desperate.
be shut down, dog.
Honestly, let me read it and we'll get into it. Women desperate to have children are being lured into unprotected sex as part of a growing industry of black market sperm donations. The rise in same-sex couples and aging mothers has caused the price of a round of IVF to rocket to up to 30,000 in recent decades,
What was it
leaving
before?
many unable to afford. What'd you say?
What was it before?
Oh, I'm not sure. Probably closer around 10 to
Wait,
15.
wait. I need y'all to break this down in simple lingo. You said IVF, in vitro fluid,
Something like
intravenous
that. Yeah.
fluid,
Yeah.
something like that, whatever. So a couple jizz.
Yeah.
It's 30 racks.
No, it's not. It's not necessarily the cup itself. It's the process. So you have to like.
John's fucking eyes just had dollar
So
signs. Like,
so
Okay, real quick.
30, 30
I'm not an expert, so take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. From my understanding, how it works is you go into this already established company that this is what they do. They give you a book, and the book is a list of possible donors. And the donor list is the name, their blood type, their ethnicity, all their achievements and accolades, like because you want to get a good sample, right? So and someone who's not like a drug dealer, like a drug addict
are
or ish.
there's ain't shit samples? Are those cheaper?
I, I don't know if they accept those samples,
I don't know. There's
but
top shelf samples. I don't know if you can get those.
maybe I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an expert in
Sample
this. So take
samples.
it with a grain of salt. Then once you pick one, then you go through a process of getting yourself ready, and then they take care of the whatever the thing would be
Insemination.
called, the insemination thing. Because I don't know if they inseminate in you or if they. I think there's options, right? You can either do it where you inseminate into you or a donor lady, wherever they're called.
Surrogate.
Thank you, a surrogate, or where it's in a tube. I think you get options. That's part of, and obviously depending on the option you take, affects the price. But if any, to simplify what I'm about to say, it's the I don't know if it's guardrails, but the professionalism in the process to guarantee a higher success rate or just comfort maybe. Because obviously, like doing these back alley sales, it's a little bit of a risk, I would argue. And that's probably a reason why the price is so high too, is it's less risk.
I think it's actually really hard to be a donor. You have to have like a certain height. You have to. I think you have to have a certain GPA or what's the other word from like IQ. And then I think you can't. It might be an urban myth, but it's something I heard. I think you can't have red hair, and because it's like a small amount of people that have red hair, and they're trying to like expunge them from the gene pool or something like that.
That's a different fucking conversation. That's
Yeah.
wild. That's wild.
Yeah, I think it's considered a deformity or something like that, and it might mess with it.
That's wild. Wow. Damn.
I feel like
I'm not
that
too sure.
episode
Like
of
I said, it was
South
probably an
Park,
urban myth I heard.
that episode of South Park where Cartman turned everybody into gingers.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let me
Well,
read this.
so basically, how much is the black market charging for a cup of jizz?
Well, let's see if it gets into it. Let me read this. Women desperate to have children are being lured into unprotected sex as part of a growing industry of black market sperm donations. The rise, okay, we pretty much read that in the title. An increasing number of would-be parents are turning to a Facebook group where men offer to donate their sperm for little or no charge. But these often come with demands. Many only agree to natural insemination sex or partial insemination, where the man masturbates and penetrates the woman just before.
That's wild.
Oh, God help me. Okay. For women who
Oh my God!
yeah, perfect. There we go. Perfect timing. For women who refuse sex, the alternative can be just as humiliating and unsafe. For some meeting in parking lots, hotels, or even Starbucks bathrooms to exchange samples. Experts say unregulated sperm donation raises the risk of STIs, which could leave a woman infertile or with an unviable pregnancy. In 2017, Stacey Nicole, 32, and her wife joined what is now the largest sperm donation group in the U.S., Sperm Donation USA. At the time, it had around 5,000 members. Now it is almost 24,000.
I don't know why that name made me laugh so fucking much, man. Sperm Donation USA.
Miss Nicole and her wife were about to embark on their fertility journey using a sperm bank, but when one of their close friends conceived using the Facebook group, they decided to give it a shot and save money. Once the Kentucky couple found someone willing to do artificial insemination, the couple called their donor when Miss Nicole had a positive ovulation test. They made the 4-hour trip from Kentucky to Ohio. Hey, look, Ohio, to meet the donor and his wife in a
To meet the
casino
meth head.
in a casino parking lot to receive their first sperm donation. Miss Nicole said, "We met in Ohio at a casino, which I would never encourage anyone to do." He basically put his donation in a cup and handed it to us. It was very weird. He said his wife was very nice, but I'm not sure how they got the donation. I know they were in the car, but I don't know if her saliva might have gotten on it. Okay. It was it was very rushed and it was not professional at all.
No, I
See,
actually don't want to finish this topic.
yeah, it's getting wild. It goes to my point. I'm telling you, like the reason why they pay the exorbitant fees for this sperm donation is because the safety of it and obviously the professionalism. And, like everything I said, ringing true so far. Miss Nicole's partner, it was very. Miss Nicole's partner inserted the sample into her with a syringe. I laid my seat all the way back. They did it in the car at that moment. Oh my god!
Boy, if you don't get
So she's upset that it wasn't professional, and then she's fucking just putting that shit just into her in the car, just pulling the
my
seat back.
So
God,
And
this
doing
when
is-
that.
Drake, so when
Yeah.
Drake put the hot sauce in the condominium, he was playing it smart.
All right, I mean, I gotta finish this. I laid my
Maybe.
seat all the way back with my legs up for the 4-hour drive back to Kentucky. No one would have known this was happening in the car next to me while driving. The process did not result in a pregnancy. That's unfortunate. And the couple decided to use a different donor from New York who came with glowing reviews from other members of the Facebook group. And this donor shipped his sperm in the mail. How nice. Miss Nicole conceived on 2 separate occasions but miscarried both times. Unfortunate. She plans to use the second donor until she becomes pregnant after being impressed by his service. The donor that actually got us pregnant, he'd never even asked for money. He just shipped it and it had an ice pack in there, even put gloves and a syringe in there for us. In 2017, her donor had fathered 87 children.
Whoa.
Wow. Now she speculates he has over 200 offspring.
There's a movie about this.
When asked if this, I don't want to take this too much in my beliefs, but I swear that imagine standing before God and then God tells you, "Oh, by the way, you got to answer for these 200 kids over here, 200 plus kids."
Hey, it's me. You God, and it's me. Go ahead. It's my turn in line, right? Am I trying to get in heaven, or I'm already in this bitch and we just discussing?
It's your interview process. You're this judgment right now, and this is part of
So
your judgment conversation.
I'm trying to get in here, right?
You're trying to get in.
Okay, so I walk up. Go ahead.
All right, John. So let's get this started.
Mm-hmm.
Are you aware that you have
Yep.
over 200 children?
Father of a nation.
Not a nation, you mean father of a fucking city.
Father, you got to start
A,
somewhere, man.
a county.
That's more
Oh,
people to praise you.
how do you know they went to church?
Well, we'd hope so. All you can do is bring forth the life
Did you
and
raise those
pray
children yourself?
and pray
Did you
and
cha-
pray
did you
and
raise
pray.
did you rear those children? Did you discipline those children?
No, but I prayed to you that they would work out all right.
Oh my
So it
god.
sounds like we both
Hey, good
kind of.
luck. Good luck, man. Good luck.
So like we both
Next
kind of messed up
stamp
here.
on the
If you was
next. Good luck.
if you was answering your phone when I called you,
Yeah, that's wild. That's
Go
wild.
forth and multiply.
that
When
hey man, look,
Went forth and multiplied.
put the book
man.
down right there when you said it.
I took that seriously.
I took it seriously. You didn't say how either. You didn't specify how. Oh my god. When
And if you
asked if
send me
this
back down, I'm gonna keep going.
The dude just worked at Amazon and was like, I could expedite some shit. I can do this.
Come on now.
oh my
He
god.
shipped it with an ice pack.
Like a dollar store ice tray.
He might need a kidney.
All right, I think I read enough. Actually, I don't want to keep going. This is starting to become really really hard for me. So, what do y'all think about this?
This is wild, dude. This is one of the wildest things I've seen come out of social media. The fact that it's not like 10 people sharing this shit amongst themselves. There's like a society of people that are
Gene,
doing this.
Here,
It's
go back. You
wild.
go to the second picture.
Gene,
Yeah, this one.
Gene
Look at it. This is
said,
an actual Facebook post. Lesbian couple in Ohio looking for a black donor for our third child. AI shipping shipping as a last resort, or AI only. We can travel within reason to other parts of Ohio, Michigan, blah 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 blah. Current STD test results need to be willing to get them when we match. Thanks for looking. This is wild.
What does
And
this
this
one
is, I
say?
think, someone offering his sperm. Hey everyone, I'm looking into donating again. One donation and successful in 2021. Interested in helping out. Some information about me below. Can definitely answer more questions through messages. I'm picky who I donate to, so I apologize in advance if I don't answer every message. 26 years old, artistic, very driven, passionate, ambitious, or originally from Albania. 6'2", athletic body, love hiking sports, healthy, no known health conditions, genetic reports available, no STDs, STI, social light drinker, no drugs. I can travel if expenses are paid. I'm open to all methods except no shipping.
86 likes and 33 comments. You
And
got some
here's a little
traction?
and here's a comment right here. Here's a good convo starter. What are the weirdest places you donated or received a donation? Or what was the weirdest donation situation you had? Donors and receipts respond. A Tractor Supply bathroom and a Starbucks bathroom. In the back seat of my car in a Little Caesars parking lot. Was asked to go down to a clinic for an in-person AI, and the couple and the doctor all watched me jerk off. He dropped the specimen, then he waited a couple hours to do it again. Walmart parking lot. My God, I thought mine was bad. I only did it outside my donor's house in my car. And there's some more. I don't know if I want to read them.
Dude, wait, but I'm so confused with some of these because I'm still wondering, like, when they say like donations, like did they basically just get fucked or did they actually just be given the cup? Like,
I think it's vague, but they were donated the sperm. How they were donated the sperm, as we saw in their top above article, it was either through full on insertion, mid whatever they
or
called it, midway,
partial and
partial
then
insertion,
artificial.
and then artificial. Oh my! Oh,
I think the crazy thing about this, like, is the fact that they've already developed their own jargon. Like, as a community, they have their own jargon to be able to communicate. Like AI only, willing to do PI. Like, it's wild to me, man. That so many people have started to do
it's
this.
weird how many times you said parking lot this whole conversation.
Yeah, you can buy a
yes.
stereo or a baby there. It's wild.
So
So it's not just drug deals going on. Why they ain't never why the police ain't never caught these folks?
is this illegal?
They catch all the drug deals in the parking lot. They don't catch.
Is
Was
this
it?
should this be illegal? I guess is the better question.
Yeah, it should be illegal to jerk off in a Walmart parking lot.
I think it is.
I'm about to say, I'm pretty sure it is. It's public indecency.
Yeah. And then to put your legs up and use a turkey baster to
For a
insert
4 hour drive.
for
For a
4 hours. I think
4 hour drive.
that should be illegal. I don't know. I don't know, Gene. I don't know.
I
I
wonder.
don't know.
I wonder if she keeps having miscarriages because the babies are like, the sperm's been frosted. So like
I read
it's
that in a
hard.
second, Ian. Let Doc finish.
Yeah, that's all I was wondering. Like she probably had the miscarriages because the babies were, on ice.
Okay, so Ian wants me to
Hardest
read this.
ass baby you
The
gonna
donor
have.
I used for my son crossed boundaries. He would show up at my house while I was at work, and my son was at home with a sitter. Made me feel like I owed him something. Got verbally mean when I told him I was cutting off all communication until my son was older and asked about him. Just be careful. Some say they don't want anything, but once the baby arrives, things can change. Did you have a contract? Thanks for sharing. We didn't, but I've heard they won't hold up anyways. That's also the dark side of it. Another reason why they probably pay the exorbitant fees is because they want to stay anonymous. They don't want to have access to these donors.
Oh yeah, that's true too. That's kind of wild. That guy must have had some kind of issue where he's just like, I don't know, maybe out of turn of heart was like, oh, I need to father this child, so now I need to show up in his life. Yeah, dude, this is wild. I don't know why, but
I understand.
it's just weird.
There's two things though. I'm not saying I understand the lesbian couples wanting to do this, and I understand the couples if they have infertility issues. Because one of the pictures it showed a husband and a wife, and I'm assuming they have infertility issues. I don't want to assume any degenerate stuff because that's
So they pulled
also
up so your wife could get pounded in the back of a parking lot.
don't want to talk about that. So that makes sense to me. What I don't understand are the single mothers trying to do this.
That's just
And
them
I'm not, and
sharing
I don't mean doing it through the black market way. I mean just the donations. Period. Like I understand lesbian couples and infertility issue couples. I just don't understand single women
They ain't found
going.
a partner yet.
But
They want
why?
the kid.
But that's. I don't
What's
know if
your
this is.
opinion?
I don't know if this is off topic, but I just think that's so wild.
Mm.
Like
I mean, there's different issues though. That I mean, maybe she's weird in the head and she just feels like she needs to do it. And then maybe there's just women who haven't been able to find partners and they're getting older and it's going to get dangerous for them to start trying to do stuff like that older as they're older. So they're just like, fuck it, I'm going to do it
You
now.
know what? There's not a large market of single men finding women to have babies for them.
That's true too.
that is true. I can't think of anything like that. Even rumors, like something like even if it's not a large market, at least a small market, like something.
You know what
Like,
men normally do to if they want a kid, they adopt.
is that? I don't even think men adopt like single men. I don't even think
I'm
single
not
men
saying that
adopt.
they do it in large quantity. I'm just saying if single men want a kid and can't have one, they most of the time would just adopt because they physically can't do it by themselves. But there
Hmm.
are the gay couples who will get a surrogate, and one of them will be the donor,
Yeah, those women get paid a shit ton of
or
money.
they
Too,
could
from what I
both
heard.
they could both try the surrogate, inseminate the surrogate, and just see who's wins out.
Like they put it at the same time.
Right after, back to back, see who wins.
It took me a while to process that. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
See who got the strongest swimmers.
I don't know if I should share any more of my opinions. My opinions are going wild in my head right now that I'm like
I
fighting
could
back.
tell. You're about to rub your eyebrow off.
God, dude, this is wild.
I mean, it's just people in a different place. So yeah, I can't relate to any of them, and I'm trying to understand them.
Yo, to live your whole life and then just degrade yourself like that is crazy. Like every part of this process is degrading. Jerking off in a Walmart parking lot into a cup, that's degrading. Or getting fucked in the back of a Walmart parking lot, and it's not on some spontaneous girlfriend, boyfriend. It's meet up a stranger, and then all of a sudden, all these motherfuckers be far away from each other because I'm hearing 4 and 5 hour drives all the goddamn time to get knocked up in a Walmart parking lot or a Starbucks. First off, I will never look at a Starbucks restroom the same again. Because how many people
Little
have met in
Caesars
Starbucks
also. Don't
restaurants?
forget Little Caesars.
Yeah, bro, hot and ready.
I don't even eat that hot and ready. It's crazy. Hot and ready is crazy. Hot and ready is crazy, Doc. No, no. We're gonna end it with that. Let's end it with that.
All
Hot
right,
and ready is crazy.
let's address Ethan's comment real quick and let's end it. Okay, so that was great. Good job, Doc. Where's Ian? Where are you? Oh my god. Yeah, nope. How people
Yeah.
how people make their insemination decision is none of my biz, but they need to at least keep it indoors, i.e., hotel or home. That is just crazy. 100%. I don't
Yeah,
understand
parking
how
lot babies.
parking lot babies, bathroom babies,
Yeah.
hot and ready babies.
And then
I
they call
don't.
him Little Caesar.
You
Fuck.
gotta name him Caesar. Like,
Mhm.
Damn. I don't understand how a man can do that so many times, considering all of the stories that have come out about people not knowing they were siblings due to anon sperm donations. That's actually an interesting point. That would be wild. Like, you meet
His
someone
response would be
out there,
tell
like a love
Noah.
interest, and you find out this is your like sibling.
what?
Like, that's wild. That would suck.
He would say, tell Noah it was but so many of us on that boat.
That's literally the story of Annie, a lonely rich man who adopted. That okay, touche. You got me there. But that's a fantasy. That's not a real. That's not a real story. It's
You trying to tell me
fiction.
Daddy Warbucks ain't real?
All right, you got me. I'm not knocking or anyone getting freaky in a car. You know that's fair too. You know we all have our car stories. I think that's all the comments right there. This is a funny one to end on. I think I perfectly got good reaction from Doc and John. I wish we took screen recordings because that would have been hilarious. You know, I got John good when John can't look at the camera. When John's just like this
Yeah.
whole time. We just can't look at the camera. You know,
For
we
like
got John
5
good.
minutes. I feel like
This is such a
John looked like he asked for a donation because for 5 minutes he just couldn't look at anybody.
God. It's just so strange to me what the people use the internet for. Like,
Right? That's not. Yeah, that's 100%. Like for real.
and you know what? All these people have jobs and they act regular elsewhere, but get on the internet and do that. That's crazy.
Like that one
Parking
dude
lot
who's
of a
like, "Hey,
casino,
looking to donate again. How's it going? Making
parking lot of a
posts."
casino, and then you didn't even get pregnant?
Don't forget driving home with your legs up with this. You know.
And
I know the whole process of your
my
legs
man
up for 4
convinced
hours.
my man convinced his wife to suck his dick in the parking lot. He's the real winner. She said it might have been saliva in it. Can you imagine?
How did they know?
For real, how did they know? They must have examined the sample and noticed the different fluids.
What's your Twitter?
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Ew. I don't know, dude. Oh my goodness. Dog, this was a hard one. That's what she said when she tried to get the sample. Oh my God. I don't even know how to deal with this one, dog. This one's bad. This is those people
I
right
got it.
there. Those people right there are really wilding for respect. That's crazy. On the internet, on Facebook?
I know, no shame, no shame.
I do wonder if Facebook's going to do anything about this. Like,
Why?
if-
Like,
Yeah, they're gonna
why
create
would
an
they?
app.
uh,
Can they do
They're gonna
anything
create an
about this?
app and monetize it.
I mean, they do monitor stuff. So I'm assuming like maybe they'll like create some policy that just says don't fucking do this, and then
The fucking jizz black market is
Because you
crazy.
have to, I guess this would go under the soliciting of sex category because you can't solicit sex on Facebook Marketplace. Could
I
you
mean they could
technically?
literally just add or solicit or something like that, and then it kind of covers that stuff.
But then how do you police that though from Facebook? Like,
So
like you said,
Don't
Doc,
sell
they
bodily
have their own
fluids.
lingo.
Don't sell bodily fluids. How about that? Keep it like that. Don't sell bodily fluids. We don't care if it's
yeah,
pee, spit, fart. Don't care what it is. Don't sell it on Facebook. Don't talk about exchanging it on Facebook.
I think they would rely on people tattletelling, because I mean that's what they do with like hate groups. Like if somebody
Tattle telling,
tells,
snitches.
yeah, that's kind of what they would probably have to do. Otherwise, they would have to invade and like read your chat logs and stuff like that. But if somebody reports a chat, then they have free reign to go in there and read through it, and then they can turn that over to the police, or they can like delete the accounts and stuff like that. If they're going to do both, they're going to delete the accounts and then turn it over to the police. But since this isn't illegal, they'll probably just delete the accounts.
They're gonna have to meet me in the they're gonna have to meet me in the junior section at the Macy's.
All right, last question. Let's call it. Would y'all ever donate?
Yeah, if they met me at the women's shoe section in Dillard's. That's the only place I'm exchanging the sample.
Because you want them to be seen.
No, just because it's so fucking random where the fuck they mean. Of course I wouldn't do that dumbass shit. You just give out my goddamn golden seed. God forbid. No, never.
I think so.
With Eugene.
No.
You sure?
With you, Doc.
Nah. I mean,
But I would say
if you push like 50K, that kind of does make it a little more tempting.
you
It's
see,
like,
I was gonna say
You
Doc
think they're
it would be the
making that
closest to
money?
doing it.
I would agree
Doc
too.
would be the
Doc would be the
closest to
closest
doing
to
it.
doing it.
100%.
yeah, because I'm pausing now. I'm thinking about it, but it's a money thing for me, honestly.
Okay, what's your number?
Great question. I'm right there with you. What's your number, Doc?
It's definitely like in the millions. Like
Shut
1
the fuck
million or
up.
something like that. Yeah, it's
Shut
an
the
outlandish
fuck up.
number because I was thinking about the thousands and I was
10,000,
like,
Ian, or a Doc 10,000. Someone offers you
Nah.
10,000 for your sperm.
nah.
Bull.
100
Like-
racks.
Like 50,000 kind of makes me kind of like, you know.
All right, 100,000, like John said, 100,000. That's life changing right there.
I mean, it would decently change my life, but like, still, it's.
I don't
It's
think
the
I
idea of
start
having a
listening.
kid out there. It's that like I kind of get why that dude showed up. It's creepy as fuck, but it's like the idea that like, damn, like if I never have a child, like if I'm 50, I'm gonna think about that kid. You know what I mean?
100%. That's the main reason why I couldn't do it because
Yeah.
like my moral code, like I would feel incredibly responsible for that child. That's why I couldn't do it. If I have a kid, like I need to be responsible. I can't just like just have some offspring of mine out there and like I'm like I got no ties to it. Like nah, that's not conceivable in my mind.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine that. No.
I think my number starts at 500,000. Simply because if you can afford the 500,000, I'm assuming you can afford to
Do
raise
the
the
actual
kid.
process without doing
Yeah,
it in black market.
yeah. So, like, the number would have to be so outlandish that like you're choosing you're choosing that over just the actual regular process because you can obviously afford it. And then 500K. Hey man, I'm taking me and my girl. We finna travel, eh? So like, but also I would have to get my girlfriend's permission.
If
But
your girlfriend
500K, I would
if
start
your
at
girlfriend gave you permission, I'd have to have a talk with her.
500K is where we start at. You know, because everything's all cool, right? But I had to close my eyes and realize, like, visualize somebody with a briefcase with $500,000 cash in front of me, and be honest with myself and say I wouldn't consider it. That's why I said the conversation would start. I don't know if I'd go through with it. Morally, I wouldn't want to. But $500,000 in front of me, cash, liquid. I'd rather have a 500K than to be in the car driving to a job and be like, man, oh my God, I should have did it. But no, I think I start listening at 500.
Yeah, at least hear him out. Hear
Yeah,
you out. Hear you out.
yeah. And then you're gonna have to pay a consultation fee, which you can't get back.
Hey, there you go. John's businessman coming out right now. John's business mind is coming out.
So now I'm definitely not doing it because I just finessed you out that consultation fee.
The middle school Candyman John's coming out.
I'm trying to tell you, if you want me to listen, I need 100K.
Oh, okay. Let's cut it there. We entertained this for far too long. Thank y'all for tuning in on Fake Deep Thinking, talking about some crazy riots and some black market
Jizz.
shenanigans. Some jizz. Ethan, I followed you on Twitter while we were all talking. Went back there and I gave you the follow. So hopefully it's yeah. So let me know if you didn't get it or if it didn't go through. I'll correct that as soon as I can. No vacations as far as I'm understanding, so we should be on for next week again. Check this. We'll check Discord after this. Make sure you guys have liked the video. If you haven't shared, share the video. Let's get new faces in here. Let's get more people into discussion, more laughs, more jokes. Leave a comment. Let us know how much you hate us, how much you love us. We love the feedback. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace out.
Next week in the back of a fucking casino parking lot.
Stop.
It just makes sense.
Yo, thanks for making it to the end. We really appreciate it and hope you all enjoyed the show.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and the notification bell to get notified when we post our clips.
Follow us on Twitter at PodcastFDT. Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are all Fake Deep Thinking. Check us out, please.
FDT. Peace, y'all.
Peace.